Welcome everyone to the Moisky News for March the 20th, 2020. Before we start, there is going to be a political recap stream tonight on this channel, 9:30pm GMT with Trups LP. I wonder what we're going to be talking about. Today it's going to be the Heineken virus. Yes, Heineken, you're trash. With that trash in mind, we're going to be addressing what Rishi Sunak, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, is going to do to try and help employment, to protect millions of jobs that are at risk if lockdowns come into effect or are enforced. So there is a rumour that today he is going to announce an employment and wage subsidy package to protect millions of jobs. Talks related to this went very late into the night last night with unions and business leaders. No doubt Rishi Sunak posed for another picture with Yorkshire tea. Cancel Yorkshire tea. News of this help, though, did in fact benefit the stock market, with the FTSE 100 and FTSE 250 going up by 5% at one point. The pound also rose 3.3% from a 35-year low to $1.18 to a pound. This particular wage packet, which is due to be unveiled today, is the latest in a string of big fiscal attempts to ease the burden on businesses and their employees. As a self-employed man, I don't see any of this, but I do hope those who have proper jobs, are safe in some manner. The Prime Minister has urged businesses to stick by their employees because we're all going to need them, and he is quite right. However, businesses exist for a reason, and that is to make money. If they can't do that, they're kinda screwed. Independent businesses are gonna go first. Many major supermarkets have reduced their hours or limited the amount of items one can purchase. It's rationing, but in a different manner. One proposal under discussion is for the UK to follow the lead of countries such as Denmark, where the government has promised to cover salaries up to 75% for 3 months, if the companies promise not to let the staff go. But I was discussing this at great length last night with a bunch of people. It's not feasible. It really isn't. Which is why I understand the difficulty many are placed in. And this still doesn't really cover self-employed people. Businesses are going to be watching carefully to see what the support is that the government offers. That comes from the Director General of the Confederation of British Industry, who is quoted as saying many other countries have now done this. France, Germany, Spain, Italy have put employee wage support in place, and if that comes through quickly, I believe there are businesses who will take a different decision because they want to keep their people and they want their businesses to be viable for when we recover. Which I can totally 100% appreciate, but I'm also acutely aware that it's incredibly expensive. And I would say France and Germany have very big economies, very different economies, and are taxed far different to us. I don't think the Conservatives are going to want to introduce that, especially if they then have to increase taxes, which kind of goes against a lot of their things, doesn't it now? This particular announcement comes only days after Rishi Sunak unveiled the £350 billion financial measure, let's go with that, which was $330 billion in loans and $20 billion in other aid, which includes a business rates holiday and grants for retailers and pubs. Hopefully, by the way, some of the jobs I do away from this, which are pubs, will stay open. I really hope they do. I hope my gym does as well, actually. The Bank of England has also cut interest rates twice in a little over a week to try and provide support to the UK economy, while lenders offer a 3-month mortgage holiday to home owners in financial difficulty due to the virus, which is incredibly generous and hopefully will help them immensely. Yesterday, Rishi Sunak spoke to representatives of business groups and unions, which included the Federation of Small Businesses and the Trade Union Congress, which all agreed more needed to be done to protect workers' jobs, which I totally agree with, especially with 0-hour contracts and, of course, self-employed. One of the ideas floated to try and pay as much as Denmark and other countries with the 75% of wages covered during this time would be to work by using refunds on the pay-as-you-earn tax scheme operated by all employers, with Labour also floating proposals to subsidise 80 to 90% of workers' wages, which I don't believe they can do. Population as high as it is, I really don't believe it's feasible to do it for any period of time realistically. With London possibly having to clamp down more on lockdown and quarantining, and other major cities as well, This will inevitably bleed out into the more rural areas and even the coastal towns like my own. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out, and I'm looking forward to this statement to understand fully what they intend to do, because I doubt they will increase it to as high as Denmark, or Germany, or France, or what's left of Italy. The Heineken virus is doing a considerable amount of damage right now, so it'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. Blame Heineken. If I don't see you tonight for the stream with Trups, have a fantastic weekend. And do tell me what you think about this in the comments down below.